Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Young. I'm going to walk you through a brief presentation. I'm in an area that's kind of close to heart to me, and that's basically this generation that's probably from about 22 to 38 years old that's struggling in both a balance between career and life. And it's an area that I'm concerned because over the next decade or so, they'll become more predominant leaders in terms of the overall world, and it's something that we need to kind of address now, the situations facing them. So here's a little bit bio about myself. I'm a CPA, CGA by trade. I've got over 26 years experience between corporate finance and doing financial solutions. I've reached out over the last many years talking to different people from that demographics, which is the 22-38 year old, the millennials, and feel that I have a quite comfort zone in meeting different people to give you a different perspective of things. Now my agenda will be just to tell you who the millennials are. I'll talk to you about what skills are required as part of the overall movement of the jobs in the futures. I'll talk a bit about how people manage their names, and I'll get in a little bit about education and also provide you some final thoughts of the whole situation facing the millennials. So the millennials, depending on who you talk to, will define it different groups. I'm going to basically look at a group born from 1975 up to like 1994-95. So I'm going to go within that 20-year window because their people now will be 21 to 41. So they grew up more in the technology phase than the previous generations. Doesn't mean that we didn't grow up with it. It just means that we weren't exposed as much as this group was to technology. Now, if we talk about jobs, and this year is not a good year for job creation in Canada. And if we talk about in perspectives, you break it into two ways that we look at job creation in Canada. We look at it first in public, what we call as the service sector, which includes government jobs, and we look at the goods producing side. Well, the good producing side is struggled all year, and part of that is to do with a shift that's happening between low commodity prices, slow worldwide economic growth, and just basically looking at how other things are flowing from government money that would impact those sectors like construction. Now if we go into the service sector, that's basically getting into areas like retail, we're getting into financial services, we're getting into gaming, public sector. Now each sector is a little differently. What I encourage students and people in the workforce to do is look at what's going on in a particular sector, look at the growth pattern there, and see whether or not, based on your education, based on your goals, objectives, if you can fit into that particular segment, because those are the segments that are going to be growing in terms of size and magnitude. Now, a lot of the skills that are missing since we've kind of gone to the phone devices is we're missing key things: critical thinking, judgment, time management, interpersonal skills, and teamwork. To be successful no matter where you work in business, education, or construction, you're going to need these type of skills to be successful. The millennials in a lot of cases lack them. Can they not say all of them, but there's a good chunk of them because the education systems themselves did not emphasize these critical skills, and they're important because they're also good in terms of life management and also career management. Now, I tell the millennials all the time, treat your name like a brand. The more active you are in social media sites like LinkedIn, networking through professional associations. So if you're looking to get an HR, and you network with HR. You're looking to get into the engineering area, you network with the associations with the engineers. You attend job fairs, so you go out and meet employers, headhunters, different people that know the lay of the land and can give you advice in terms of how you can pad your resume. You also look at people within a chosen field, whether that's in the skilled trades, in the carpentry, electrician, whether it's in the engineering, and see if you can mentor with them. See if you can talk to them what's required to be successful in there. Because nobody in this world is going to give you a free hand. You're going to have to earn it. And some of the ways you could earn it is by how you manage your name. Students also need to do is treat your investment like an education like an investment. That means if you're going to go into debt on average 25 to up to 40,000 for depending on the 4-year diploma and different aspects of where you go into your degree programs, you need to look at how you're going to pay that back, because you're usually going to start somewhere between 30 and 40,000 a year. And basically that's saying is if you're looking after tax at 30,000, so you're looking around 1750 a month. So you're going to still have to pay your loans off, but how are you going to get on your own to rent a place? Well, you're going to either have to share a place or stay at home. So you got obligations you're going to have to meet, so you have to fix that into the salary expectations. Two, if you get in the 40 range, it gives you a bit more money to play with, but you still have to pay your student loans down there. You still have to put on accommodations, transportation, and all that. It doesn't leave you a little lot. So what I encourage students to do is map out a strategy on a financial plan sooner than later, but also treat your degree or your education like an investment. Now, where will the jobs be in 2016 and beyond? Well, look at some of the areas you're seeing: software development, personal financial advisor, psychology, web designer, environmental engineers, medical assistants, trade, robotic engineers, skill trades, and stuff like that. So how do you do that? Well, it starts two facets of it. It starts in high school, probably even early on, by looking at the courses you need to do to be successful in a career. It's also looking at not believing just because you need to go through high school to get a university degree that it's the end all to be all. The Canadian economy only can support so many university degrees. So you need to map that out in terms of what you can achieve in terms of income. And again, like I said earlier, with investment in education, what am I going to get returned for that work? College and universities. You started university. That's where you start doing your networking. Well, you should do it before in high school, but you should really be pushing the LinkedIn site. You should be really pushing going into key networking sites. You should be studying trends like what are the fastest growing companies. You should be looking at what's going on in government spending. These are all things that you need to look at as part of managing your name and managing opportunities for you. Now, my final thoughts are this. A lot of cases when you're going through difficult times, you might fall through a rich quick scheme. There's tons of these multimedia, multi-level marketing schemes out there. If it's too good to be true, then don't believe it. The second thing is, it's up to you to focus on a discipline and a determination. Now, there's enough of those Anthony Robbins videos out there to give you a motivation, but what you got to ask yourself is, how can I achieve those goals? How can I motivate myself to be successful? And look at it and map it out. Third point here. Life is not always going to be fair. Life's going to deal you a hand. You have to play that hand. Okay, you can get mad about it, sad about it, but it doesn't change the hand you played. It's up to you to take that hand and say, how can I make something out of this into my new reality and my new destiny? That's something you have to do. Again, you also need to manage your name like a brand. If you're going to be stupid on Instagram, Facebook, that's up to your call. But companies are starting to look at social media and how you carry yourself. And that's very important to understand how you utilize social media in terms of your personal life. Make sure there's a balance, but also make sure that you're not being foolish in the way you want your name to be visible. Fourth point. Don't look down at a job. Okay? I know there's this fascination. You come out of the university with a degree and you think you're better than other people. Don't think that. Take that job as a challenge. How do I take that job and make something out of it and take that experience? Because the old catch-22 is, to get a job, you need experience. Now, this presentation was brief to kind of give you an idea of what's facing the millennials. I encourage you to do a lot of research out there and talk to different people to see what can be done to help you be successful both in personal life as well as in a business or a successful career. Thank you.